mostly intact. I've got my I've got my wing in a sling. Long story. It'll definitely show up somewhere in a story some point. Um, but yes, welcome to the Striving Novelist Support Group from Story Street Writers. We're today's our submission party. We're going. We sent out our article. If you did happen to stumble across that on the Story Street site for submission opportunities for the month of June. So we're all going to be looking for homes right now for our stuff. That's the idea behind the submission party. Everybody get together, clicky clicky, submit things. Get your story that has been in the drawer that you have been too too whatever to actually send out into the world. Let's get that out there. So um, welcome everybody. If you happen to be showing up in the chat, or if you happen to be watching this later, um, we're here for writing support is the idea. So today it's me, Michael, Jack, Michelle, and Eileen. I think I think Elisa might be thinking of showing up here as well. So um, anyway, uh, we want to talk about. Do we want to go around the horn and just do the? What do you think? Do we want to go through and talk about
Yeah,
like
let's do
how
it.
things have gone since our last submission party treatment, or did we want to talk about just our weekly writing goals, or maybe a little both? We kind of mix it a little both.
Yeah, let's do both.
Okay.
Uh, um, I've submitted some this week. I did a bit of writing as well. I've been I've one of the things I really liked about the work I've done most recently is a bit of foreshadowing that I added into uh, something, a chapter that I've been working on for a long time, and what I worked on was the last section of the last chapter of the book that is foreshadowed in the new uh, part that's in the first chapter, and uh, I'm it's nice to see that kind of road sign, that stop, that the whatever. It's nice to see that a light at the end of the tunnel and sort of construct it and think through it and have those like 2 points that everything else is going, it is or does thread between those 2 points. And so I feel good about that. I haven't had a great string of productivity, but I've had a decent week. Um, and and as far as submitting is going, in this last week, I submitted to a craft reprint category, and I will uh, submit maybe 2 things today.
Good deal. Um, reprints are fun. I think that I'm a fan of reprints because I think once you get it printed, if you people skip that, so it's good that you're looking at that. Who wants to go? Lisa just showed up. I'm not going to put you on the spot this time. So,
Hi. No, but
so
are we sharing how our week went and then?
Yeah, we're doing the week. We're kind of getting a little submissions and also like our regular writing weekly.
Yeah. I was less unproductive than I've been in the past weeks. I was down and I've been really, really distracted. But I have a short story that I share with you that it was initially a 600 word for a contest, and then I did the flash version and the longer version. So I have two basically, because the 600 is too short for, I just did that because that was the word count for that specific challenge. But now I have the two versions, and I've been seeing where it can fit. I really like both of them. I don't have any preference for either of them. So I did, but I did get to polish two versions. So I have the less than 1,000 and then 2,000 plus. And I also went back to a project that I finished 2 years ago, and I had read the prologue and I started, but now I'm back into into the editing, because now it's just editing. The whole manuscript is done. I'm just making some changes, some significant changes in the middle. I know exactly what I'm going to do, but I have to start from the beginning. And I don't know if this happens to you guys, but I read it and I didn't like it. And then I made some changes, and then I read it again, and then I did like it. It's I don't know if this ever happens to you when you're reading your stuff, but now I am really excited about working on those pages again. And actually, who was the author who said that you should leave in the middle of a sentence your manuscript so
That
that
was
the next
Hemingway.
day? Hemingway, yeah.
Yeah.
I really believe that that is very true, because I think that your brain gets stuck in that a specific point, and so you're ready to, you want to go back and you finish it, and it gives you a sense of urgency. So I've been leaving what I'm editing like midpoint, not yet the end of a chapter, so that the next morning I'm really excited to go back and rework it. So yeah, that was my week. I could have done more, but I did enough.
I'd like to hear more after you kind of play with that a while, how that works for you in
Mhm.
a kind of future kind of craft talk discussion, because that's, I don't know, that's something like, it's always a trouble. How do you get back in? So who, who
Yeah.
wants to talk next on the?
Lisa, I find that horrifying. That you mid-sentence, my completionist self really balks about it. So that's probably a very effective method for me.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about it. I'll be ruminating about it.
You know, to the point that if I get out of the car, I keep playing the last song that I was hearing in my head, because there's this thing in psychology that says that if an incomplete task, your brain can't get over it. So it's stuck. It gets to the point that it gets so stuck in the back of my head that when I go back into the car, I realize why I've been thinking about that song, and it was because I didn't get to finish it the last time I heard it. So I think that it's, yeah, and I've read it somewhere that it's something that happens to you when and so you need to tell, if that happens with tasks that you have something undone and you don't want to ruminate over it, you have to tell your brain that you finished the part, this part is finished, even so that it understands and doesn't bug you with it. So, but if we want to stay in that mindset, then we have to do the opposite as writers and just leave it somewhere so that you are primed to continue, and not just like have the chapter finished and then so I can pick it up whenever I want to. So your brain will force you to continue as soon as possible. I don't know if that, we'll see how that works.
That's similar to the. We're getting off track, but that's similar to like the technique that thriller writers use, though. Like with the cliffhangers. Like I'd heard, who was it? Was it Dan Brown? One of his like thing I heard him say, you end on every chapter on a cliffhanger, but also start every chapter on a cliffhanger, and it just pulls people through. Like anyway, sorry, Eileen, go ahead.
No, I'm here with a PSA for everybody, because I did a reading last week. It's the first chapter in my memoir, and then I lost the memoir. It's, some glitch. So my PSA is back it up, back it up, back it up. And so my big project is trying to recover the memoir this week so that I don't have to go all the way back to last fall. So there's that. But today on Subs and Grinders, I have a short story that's been a real pain to place. I'm going to be working on trying to find a place for that. It's long. It's like 6,700 words, and it touches on a religious topic, though it's not about religion. So there are a lot of places that want to deal with that either. That's my big submission push for today. And otherwise, I have not been as productive as I wish. But I think that's probably everybody's story.
I don't know. It sounds like you were pretty busy this week. If you were chasing
Yeah.
after ghosts of words that once were, there's something visceral. It's like watching somebody getting kicked in the groin. That, like, as a writer, hearing you talking about losing your work, it just like, I feel that in the same way.
Eileen, when you do your, when you're looking for places to submit today, if you pull up, do you have that Brex list that we have of the top? It's like the top 900 or not, or 1,000 literary magazines, but you can sort them, like it's a spreadsheet and you can sort them, like there's this one column where they say the number of pages they accept, like their limits. So that
Oh,
might be
that would
helpful,
be
or number of words, or yeah, that might be really helpful.
beautiful. Where is that, Michelle?
It's the Brex list. I can share, I
Throw
can
it in
share
the chat.
yeah, I'll put it in the chat in a minute. But while I have my mic on, I will just quickly update. I did have some productivity last week in the midst of graduating. I thought of an idea of a new, yeah, thank you. I thought of it,
Applause,
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, thank you. It was,
Yeah.
we were traveling for that, so I wasn't writing that much, but I did come up with an alternate ending to my novel that I think I like better than what I originally had planned for my main character, Camille, and why she, like the path she takes. And I liked it so much I started taking notes. And so I feel like that was productive. I also got a really upbeat rejection that made me so happy from a really good literary magazine. So I think today I'm going to take that story and find a couple new places. Whenever I get those, it's very encouraging. I know they'll find a home if somebody at a certain level saw some merit in it. I feel
That
confident.
that's really only a great comment if you give us some details. Like you got to tell us what great liter and what
Which
It
one?
was.
like share the joy.
I will share the joy. I'll put that in the chat too, because I think I sent it to you, but it was such a lovely rejection. It was lunch ticket. And they, let's see if I can find it, but it made me so very happy because they were just, I don't know. It was the way they worded it. I think I put it in maybe Story Street last week. I'll find it. We chat a lot on this WhatsApp. It's hard to find stuff. Anyways,
Yeah.
so this week I am going to really try to get back into my novel, and I'm excited to do that because everything's done otherwise with school. So
Michelle, that's
Yay.
one to. So if you have not already, that's definitely one to send to the New Yorker, because if you've already gotten some good feedback on that, that's definitely one that you'll want to be able to tell the
Okay.
New Yorker later whenever you get it placed, because they take forever to get it placed. You could be send your feedback to the New Yorker saying, sorry, I have to withdraw
Yes,
this. It's not
I'm so
you, it's
sorry.
me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one now that I'm very optimistic will get published before the New Yorker even opens the email.
I love this strategy. I just want to do
Yeah,
that all the time
it's so
so that I
fun.
can
Mm-hmm.
send
Yeah.
rejections to the New Yorker someday. So that's my new philosophy. My week. So I I did get my podcast editing done, and I've got it created, the stream and everything, and I'm actually my first interview with David Slayton. I've actually got it published. I'm not sharing the link until I get it in all of the aggregate. I'm waiting on Spotify. Looks like right now to like accept the feed. But once I do, yeah, I'll be sending some notices out. The next author that's getting published is going to be our lovely Professor Elizabeth Sharp McKetta, and then I have Charlie Jane Anders after that, and then many other wonderful authors. Hopefully, to continue to go with this. So I did get that editing done since last time I was on here. As far as like my writing goes, I went to Portland, Maine with my family for a family trip, and I ended up dislocating my shoulder on the slippery rocks at the edge of Maine, where the water is. The plus side of that is that I got to go to the hospital in Stephen King's Creepy Town to get this tiny little hospital. It looks like it was frozen in the 80s, or it was actually the town next over, but still, I got to see Stephen King's old house and stuff, and there's see the storm and rain from it and all that. So it's really it was a neat trip from a literary standpoint. Obviously, I'm one-handed right now, but it's still I can point and click. Anyway, there's a lot of back pressure on my schedule right now. Stuff that's been had been waiting for, kind of building up because of my wife's pending graduation. I know there's several people in our group whose personal graduations probably have had the same thing, because I know we should say 3 people that in our group, Margie, Michelle, and Alex, all got to graduate. So it's great to see everybody in there. Anyway, what else we got? Anyway, that's my work. I'm going to be submitting something to Elisa just had shared with us. Fun little speculative fiction contest.
Yeah, no fee.
Yeah,
That's the
I'm
funnest
gonna
part.
load that one up, because I write. That's basically what I write, just lies and weird stuff. So that works for me. So
Yeah, I
that's
already
what
submitted to that. Also, it's cool because also it has to do with emerging writers. You have to not have had publication, like big publication. They have sort of specific. So it's nice because it's based in Chicago and they're doing something to promote, and they have nice prizes. So yay, good luck.
So yeah, I guess with that said, if you're, I guess for people who are watching this, I think Jack brought up a point a couple weeks ago that if you have not been familiar with submitting stuff to magazines and stuff like that, a good place to go to look for. Well, first of all, like I said, we have an article that we just published last week. That has a few submission opportunities that you can go to. We try and keep it like kind of a variety pack. So there are some speculative fiction things, there's some literary things, there's some poetry, sort of things in there. So, but obviously you can go to some place like Duotrope or Submission Grinder. You can search for those and you'll find they have nice built-in search engines that will help you to find places. Duotrope, well, Submittable also will do keep track of things that you submit through them. But Duotrope lets you make an account, I think, and kind of keep track of your submissions that way. So I think that's it's good to kind of get yourself into a system if you don't want to feel like setting up a spreadsheet, like and I know that word gives a lot of people heebie-jeebies, like a spreadsheet. That like if you don't feel like doing that yourself, someplace like that, like Duotrope, that can help you kind of keep track. It's good to have that so that because you think now that you would keep track and oh yeah, I submitted it there. No, you'll forget. Did I submit that to Plowshares or not? Like I have to check my email. Did I get a confirmation? Oh, okay, no, I didn't. And then you submit, and oh no, it was in my junk. So yeah, you will lose track if you don't keep track of it. So let the computer keep track of that for you. That's what they're good for. They don't get to do the writing. So,
Yeah,
but, yeah.
I mean, you were saying that you had a story that's long-ish, like 6,700. There's one of the I posted the one story. The deadline is today. I know it opens today until they reach the submission cap. So I think that it's perfect for anyone who has. I have no stories that are even 3,000 words. All of my short stories are very short stories. So I'm not eligible for that. But I think that it's a great opportunity and it starts today. So and the cap, I don't know how quickly it fills, but I think they publish once a month and they do pay. That seems like a nice, because they don't have any like specifics or like genre or even topic. So that could be nice for people. I think Granta as well has again between 3,000 and 8,000 or something, and I don't qualify. because I would have loved to submit there. But those are opportunities for you guys who have longer things.
All right. So I am, like I said, going to just to narrate. I'm going to jump on to the one that Elisa shared here. If I can find it. Which one
Maybe
did
we
you
should
share?
put it in the chat because I put it in. We didn't post it in the website. That I shared
Yeah, that
with.
was a new one. That was after our article. So
Yeah.
I could add that to the article. As a matter of fact, well, it was ending today, June 2nd.
Mhm.
So that's probably going to be it's dreamfoundry.org/writing contest. I'll put that in the live chat here for if somebody happens to be here. That's the live chat here. I'll just put that there. Probably not going to do you much good if you see this tomorrow, but here we go. That's where I'm going. Now I need to figure out which one should I. Okay, I need to decide what I'm going to put in there because I have a lot of crazy, wild lies that I have written. Should I do the one with the soundtrack or should I do the one? I don't know.
That is very cool.
Yeah, I like that one. I've decided I'm going to write the New Yorker and ask them to withdraw a submission that I haven't made. I'm just gonna like pull something that I never submitted.
Oh, getting some demand through scarcity.
Yeah, one day. I'm sure there'll be soliciting work right away.
Michelle, I downloaded the site you put in the chat, but I don't see how to search based on short story length.
You know, let me look because it's a spreadsheet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to the second tab where it lists the
Top 1,000.
Yeah, and then you'll see the stories. And if you go past Twiddle, wait, where is it? Not Twiddle, Twiddle followers. From Twitter. Hold on, I'll find where it is.
Total score.
If you go to word count, it's right past cost.
I see it. Yep.
And then you can just sort.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Which was the story that got rejected, Michelle, that you're gonna post again?
It was hold on. It was Big Gertie Just Walter. But I'm very optimistic. I have that out a few places.
Yeah, that's gonna find a great place.
Yeah, I love that story.
I'm excited. And I did, you know what? I even I edited it some more and I'm even happier with it now. There were a few things that I felt needed tweaking and now I'm more confident than I have in a while. I'm more confident in it than I have been. Let's see.
You know what's tricky for me? I'm very impatient and I hate waiting. And I've submitted some of the stories to several places and they're not going to tell me anything until like July or August, even September. So the thing is that I don't have so much material that I have enough to just throw around.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I don't know if I should keep submitting it to other places when I haven't even heard back from the first ones. So what do you think?
Keep submitting.
Keep submitting, yeah. It takes so long. I've lost you guys.
Yeah, but
oh my goodness. Sorry. Can you hear my dog?
Yes.
Yeah, your dog is saying yes. Keep
Yeah,
submitting.
apparently
Keep
there's
submitting. Don't
a bunch
stop.
of
Keep
cheering
submitting.
going.
All right.
Yeah, keep submitting, Elisa, because it takes so long for them to respond.
I heard that the strategy for submissions is to rank the places that you want to
Mhm.
do based on the tier level, right? And then
Yeah.
submit every 2 to 4 weeks so that your tier ones have the best shot of getting back to you first. Because you don't want to accept a tier 5
Exactly.
if
Yeah,
you
exactly.
at
That's
a more prestigious journal. So you do your
Mhm.
tier 1 first, wait whatever you feel is comfortable, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and then send them out in shifts.
Yeah.
I have to correct myself, guys. The Booth magazine was one that sent me a lovely rejection for Big Gertie and Jess Walter, and it lunch ticket was Manipure. But I'm collecting these lovely, lovely comments that make me happy, even though they're rejections.
And for me, even just getting any type of like acknowledgement to this point, because I have submissions from I think April and nothing, like no, even not even rejections, aside from the Smoke Long Quarterly. And it's like even rejections now feel like, oh, I got something, so something to
Well,
look forward to.
I sent you guys something recently. Somebody was celebrating. One of the magazines was celebrating like whatever anniversary, and they were talking about the amount of subscriptions they get per year and the amount they have gotten since they started. And it was, I wish I could remember the exact number, but let's just say it was like 60,000 compared to publishing 400 stories over the course of however. I mean, it's such a small percentage that most of these magazines can accept just because of room, just
Yeah, I
because
know.
of, maybe they accept 4 stories an issue and 3 poems. And then you think about that and they're getting thousands of submissions each month. And so I really believe them when they say they have to let go of some excellent work. I don't think they say that lightly.
Yeah, me too. It's just that I'm not the um I'm not the patient type. Actually, I received news on Wednesday on the NYC short story
Oh, yeah?
second round. Yeah, but
Wait,
yeah,
which one?
remember that the first one that I turned in was Joaquin, and it passed. I passed to the second round, and
Mm-hmm.
then the second round, I wrote the one about the peephole, the neighbor who was picking on her neighbor who was a widower and thinking that he was doing something with girls, and it turned out that he was a teacher. He was a
Okay.
music teacher. I turned that one in, but I to this point I have no idea how, like, if I have a chance or not. So we'll see. I would love to go to the third round. That would mean me writing another story for this weekend. And I think they started at max 2,000 and 2,500 words, and then 2,000 words, and then I think the next is 1,500, and then the last round would be a flash. And they keep giving you less time to write. The first one was a week, and then 4 days, and then this would be, I think, 2 or 3 days.
Oh, I hope you make it.
Yeah, I like it because I most of the things that I have written in short form are based on any type of um, um, contest. I need to take a call. I'll be right back.
Well, this is very unfortunate. I was just they had like a little voluntary survey of demographics on the submission form I was just doing on Dream Foundry, and I had to select my age, which I just jumped into a new bracket as of about 2 months ago. So
Oh
that's
no.
they forced me into the 45 to 54.
Yeah, well, I still have you beat, Michael. I'm one above.
I'm running out of brackets.
Me too. It's
My
sad.
my next bracket is like parentheses D parentheses closed.
What is
That's my
that
next
joke about
bracket.
when you have to scroll to your year for something and it's like the Wheel of Fortune you just did it to make
Yeah.
it spin really fast?
Yeah. I think they do. Do they do that on purpose? They're just trying to mess with us. Anyway, um, so I submitted to that SpecFic contest. We'll see how that goes. Going to Plowshares because, by the way, guys, they opened their regular reading period from uh, June 1st, so yesterday. So
Now, does Plowshares accept simultaneous submissions? One of them, I think I would make sure you check that because one, I think it's Plowshares that you can't send in a simultaneous
we do
submission.
not consider multiple submissions.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
multiple.
Simultaneous submissions to other journals are welcome as long as they're identified.
Never mind. Prairie Schooner is the one that doesn't
Very
do.
schooner, okay.
Yeah. And always
Yeah.
check that because
Mm.
there's not many that don't accept simultaneous submissions, but there are a few. And
That's actually a little bigger in like the genre things, especially like the bigger ones, like the science fiction magazines.
Mhm.
That's actually a lot more common, I think,
Oh, really?
in the more major ones like FNSF and Asimov's and Lightspeed and stuff. So
Yeah. Always read the guidelines.
yeah, some of them
Yep.
do, some of them don't. But yeah, always read the guidelines. I have added columns in my spreadsheet. Ooh, there's that word again. That I track my stuff for that, so that whenever I'm doing that, yeah, it's a little. I can understand like going through. They have reading as reading a pile of submissions. You know, it is a shame to go through all of that and then somebody, you know, picking your winner and then somebody's like or picking your chosen stories. Hey, these are a great fit. They make a nice theme for this magazine or something, and then they're like, oh yeah, we submitted it. Ours already accepted. But I think that, you know, I can understand limited time and everything. That there's a lot of stuff, but on the other hand, you know, being a writer, you know, you don't have time to wait 3 months for each person to get to it when you're trying to, like, you would never have a career. So work look at the submission guidelines, work within those. If you have some that are first tier favorite magazines that you want to try first, go ahead and then give them a shot at it. As this case may be, they get the advantage, right? Give them a shot at it and then blast it out. Like that's part of it. But yeah, Plowshares looks okay.
I submitted to Plowshares for the Emerging Writers Contest. So I'm gonna wait that out, I guess. But again, they don't like the results of that are for September. That's the only thing. I think I need to write more stuff so that I can keep submitting elsewhere.
Yeah, I missed that contest. So.
And then I also have a story that I think I need to work on more. Like the two that I've submitted, which are Joaquin and Teo, which have the same theme of the missing son. And again, this Sunday when you read the beginning of my other novel, it also has the same theme. I guess it's a thing with me, based on imagining what that would feel like, based on that I lost my son for 20 minutes only, but it felt like a lifetime in Italy in the streets. But those two I feel really strongly that are really good. But this other one that I also have, it's not yet there. And then I have some other that are more like flash in the 500 word, and there are not so many. Oh wait, I always. Do you also feel like if the maximum word count is 1,000 that you need to get there, and if it's not in that word count that isn't it good? No, is it just me?
No, it's just you. No, it's a lot of
Okay.
people. It's a lot of people.
Okay, yeah, good to know, because sometimes I
And there are
get into that.
contests like that. There are I mean, there are plenty of like 100-word contests where it's got to be exactly 100 words. But there was one contest I saw that somebody famous won with a story that everyone's read. Terrible story because I can't remember any of those details. But it was 5,000 words, and it had to be exactly 5,000 words.
We're
It was Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman.
It's a weird one. All right, all right. I have submitted my second one. All right, how are we looking? I'm gonna have to go pretty soon to like. We have to kind of cut a little bit short because I have to take my son somewhere.
Okay,
But I think it's.
I'll do one more.
Got a couple of these. So, did we want to kind of go around what our goals are and hopes for this real quick for this week while everybody
Sure.
gets their last submissions in? I'll go ahead and go first. I just submitted to Plowshares, and I submitted this contest. I don't know what their response time is for the contest. I'm not expecting a speedy response necessarily from Plowshares, but I am hoping to get my podcast actually out there. I'll be sharing that with Story Street here very shortly. There's going to be an awful lot of stuff I have to do with that this week, but so that's probably going to be my writing contribution time and stuff. So that's me.
I think I'm going to spend a little time submitting this afternoon because I did not get much done. I wasn't really prepared and didn't know where I wanted to submit, but now I'm on a roll.
Great.
And then I'm going to really try this week to start my next chapter for my novel. I've talked about it before, but I really need to jump back in it. So I'm going to give myself a goal of 10 pages.
And a glass of wine.
Yes.
I'm submitting to Sontag Mag. I haven't sent it yet, but I'll send it before I even get up and order my coffee today. I will submit it, and I am halfway through my email to the New Yorker withdrawing a short story that I never sent to them.
Perfect. I love that.
I'm in the same boat, Michelle. I didn't have an audience, a target publication set. So I'm going to keep going through the list you put in the chat. And I did look up one story, Elisa. It says they opened today, but it's not open yet. So
Okay. Eventually.
yeah. And I think I'd like to set a goal of submitting this story to 3 places this afternoon.
Good.
And then, Jack, you'll be happy to know I'm working on finding the contact information for the interview I need to do for that memoir.
Wow.
That's part of my homework this week.
Just give me plenty of time if you need me to meet you in Manhattan and go knock on that guy's door.
Okay,
I think
that
Elisa's
leaves
next.
me. Yeah. I have to finish editing chapter 1 to 3 for Sunday, so that's gonna be me. Yeah, Michelle, I asked the gang if they didn't mind because the first 3 chapters are very important. I want like to me because it's yeah, you'll see why. Anyway, so I have 1 done. I have to check 2 and 3 and have that ready. And maybe I also want to write an essay based on something that happened. But I want to write it with my daughter and my mom because it has to do with the 3 of us. And my daughter comes home on the 11th. So I think it would be a real cool to write an essay like Elisa Rodriguez, my mom, Elisa Mais, which is me, and Elisa Trevino, which is my daughter, because we have the same name, and of something that connects us in a deeper way. So yeah, I've also had that in the back of my mind, but I think I'll have to wait until Elisa gets here to do that. I'm working on the thinking of the structure and stuff.
Well, it's I always find that this one's really valuable, at least personally valuable. So getting the submission time, it's been really productive for several of us. So if anybody happens to wonder if it's worth taking the time once a month or more to just throw a couple of little breadcrumbs out there, it definitely is. We will, but otherwise, everybody check in with us for the next time that we do this, probably next month, and then check out with us at storystreetwriters.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. We have writing contests that just ended, but we'll have another one in a little bit. You can at least keep track. Maybe read the winners. That'll be published June 30th. So anyway, yeah, we would love to see you guys over at storystreetwriters.com and check in with you more often. So.